After Melissa and her dysfunctional family seek shelter from a storm, they become trapped in a bathroom while strange phenomena occur outside. With no sign of rescue, hours turn to days, and Melissa comes to realize that she and her girlfriend Amy might have something to do with the horrors that threaten to tear her family and the entire world apart. This movie is a claustrophobic horror film that has a lot of potential, but unfortunately it misses the mark. It doesn't do enough to exploit audience fears. The movie never finds a way to pull all of the horror elements together into a completely satisfying whole. Instead of creeping claustrophobia and fraying familial bonds, we get the more dramatically stifled film with more banal terrors. To deliver a movie like this is a challenge that requires a particular kind of finesse, technical prowess, and attention to character detail in order to pull off. It doesn't just fail miserably, it takes a competent cast down with it. The tensions never translate into anything remotely suspenseful, guided as they are by a lame mystery that spell out with uninspired gallows imagery that keeps promising unspeakable horrors, and through flashbacks that try to flesh out Melissa's romantic relationship with Amy. The movie uses the teen romance as a way to make narrative connections to the family's increasingly dire predicament, but we're left off knowing little about them as people. The movie takes its time reaching the point where Melissa's suspicions are confirmed in ways that are conspicuous through so much familial strife. It only flattens the domestic friction that's meant to serve as the foundation for the film's eventual move into horror. When these episodes turn out to have little significance beyond their jump scare or gross out value, whatever the theme the setup may have is lost. Once the film thus finally takes a dive into the strange and inexplicable, it grows sporadic and baffling. Part of the issue is that aside from the few shallow focused flashback scenes with Melissa and Amy that hint at a whole different film, we get no sense of who these people were before. The parents are depicted in such over-the-top extremes that you're always aware that you're watching a couple of actors making extreme choices instead of a plausible married couple tearing into each other because there's nothing left for them to do otherwise. You never get a sense of what drew these two together in the first place, and then it becomes clear these four never ring true as a family in the first place. The subplot involving Melissa and Amy too often end up dissipating the tension that has been building up in that bathroom. The movie doesn't fare well in delivering cheap thrills either. It amounts to a pressure cooker with precious few stakes beyond an unknown, lazily conveyed threat just outside the family's bathroom. With all that said, the movie is relatively more effective, and even the occasionally over-the-top acting choices make more sense if you treat this movie as a metaphor for having spent the last year under a pandemic that has forced us into too close quarters with loved ones. However, that potential metaphor tends to lose its way, especially once the fairly potent central metaphor gives way to less interesting instances of bloodshed. The potential ends on such a clunky and ineffective note that viewers may get the sense that the filmmakers have just been screwing with them, a feeling enhanced by the all-too-apt choice for a key musical cue towards the end. The potential metaphor also kind of plays itself out towards the end, and the filmmakers cannot figure out a way to bring it to any kind of satisfying conclusion. Overall, we do not recommend this movie at all.